What's on the menu?
Well, do you want a meaty stick or do you want some
salmon mousse?
Do you want some? No, not salmon mousse. Do you want some salmon bones? You do like them. That's what they've got.
No.
It's all the. Look at that crispy salmon. I know. I don't. No one's watching. You can't hear it yet.
The one person, please.
One person. The strange noise is coming from Coco. Right, so there you go. Nice crispy bit of salmon for you. Right, off you go. Off you go. Okay.
Right, I'll just share it.
Yeah, okay.
Chew it.
Hi, Sue.
How are you feeling, Sue? Here you go, Shed. Hi, Audrey.
Hello, Audrey. Hi, Christina.
Oh, Sue's still not feeling
No. Hello, Tracy. Right, no, you've had your snacks now. Off you go. They're loving the fact that they're loving the fact that I had these salmons, whole salmons. I've baked off the bones, the skin, and all the bits that we can't use, and they've all gone crispy, and they are like perfect salmon crisps for these two. Got loads of it as well. Loads of it. Afternoon, Karen.
They're going to have proper shiny coats.
Yeah. Hi, Janie. So hello, Sheila. Doing better. Ella just dropped in. What was that statement you just made? So it's kitchen essentials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I don't know what we're talking
we were just talking about sort of like getting ready for this. With focusing on kitchen essentials. So the essentials are the coffee grinder, the coffee machine. I don't want to unplug it, and the coffee cup. And as long as you've got those three, we're all good.
Thanks for coming to the live.
There you go. Yeah, thanks for coming to the live, and we'll see you next week. Hi, Dawn. My cup's got a green light on it, which means it's perfect temperature. So yeah, we thought we'd go through some of the basics, and then the things that are completely ridiculous, and maybe only when you get so obsessed with making everything yourself that you invest in it. And actually, now is a perfect time to come and yes, Miriam. Good afternoon, Miriam. Oh, the green light goes out when I lift it up. I'll still, yeah.
So the next gadget is an extra long
Hang
straw.
on, hang on,
The
hang on,
cup
hang
never
on,
has to
hang on.
leave.
There you go. There you go. You can see the little light at the bottom telling me it's in perfect temperature. Yeah, now's an ideal time to be looking at some of these small domestic machines because I know Aldi is full of them right now. Popped in there yesterday. Likewise, Lidl will be the same. They all do a great sort of range of small machines, this time of year. Next week, there will be the fitness stuff. And yes, I can do a little bit of conversation about the fitness stuff. We can sort of, maybe I've got some of the bits previously, some of my bits previously from one or the other. I think it was Lidl, actually. I got my TRX from. And they're ideal for home workouts. So yeah, I thought we'd do a little live on some of the some of the daily use stuff, i.e. coffee grinder, coffee machine, coffee mug, and then the stuff that is just in the cupboard and we use it sometimes, rarely. So yeah, grinder. So, these are great, actually. It's not just a coffee grinder, it's a spice grinder as well. So this one particularly, I've not had it that long, but I do really, I think it's pretty decent. It comes with two of these. Hang on. I'll put my cup down and keep it warm. It comes with two of these detachable cups. One's got 4 blades in it and the other one's got 2 blades in it. You can grind in both. They say that coffee is best in the one with the twin blade, and spices that you want finer, you want to put it into the 4. You could actually sort of, if you're doing garlic and chili as a puree, you could throw them in there, a little bit of oil, and blitz them. So there's an idea. Rather than buying ready-made garlic puree or ginger puree, or I tend to have a jar of the mix, because when you use it, you tend to use both. Throw in some fresh, tip in a little bit of olive oil, give it a quick blitz. There you go. You got your own clean garlic and ginger puree, and that will keep in the fridge for weeks and weeks. So that's ideal for these. Also for grinding dry spices as well. So if you've ever got things like cinnamon sticks or star anise and you want to grind them down to sort of add flavour, or even cumin seeds, coriander seeds, I've got the whole lot back there. This is ideal. So, you can put all of your whole seeds in together, grind them down. You've got your own seed mix. This goes in the dishwasher. Absolutely. This is dishwasher safe. You have to make sure, and with this particular one, I'm not, I don't know, it'll differ with different machines. It has this little plastic cup. You need to make sure that you put the little plastic cup on before you do the grinding bit. So that's the safety thing there that pushes the safety triggers down, sets it off. If you don't use the little plastic lid, you end up with everything coming out. Okay, so I know that because I did that with my coffee about 20 minutes ago. I forgot to put my lid back on. So this, do you know what? Is it a brand? This is Lidl's. So it's their Lidl's own brand. No, Aldi, beg your pardon, is the Aldi own brand. Again, this isn't a review for these guys particularly. It's just one that I bought recently because I needed a new coffee grinder. Do you know what? Can I? I'm not trying to sell this though, Miriam. This is just, what we've got in the house. I think it was like 15-20 quid at the most. It's perfect for it. Now, yes, you could also go for, and it is moving up in price, definitely, the Ninja bullets. So I couldn't find the lid for this one, or the blades for this one when I was just looking for it. They have the twin blades. Sorry, they have the 4 blades. They have the 4 blades in. You have to be careful if you're blitzing in here because it runs at such a high speed, it will heat up whatever seed or nut it is in there that you're blitzing it, and it will start to turn it into a puree or into a paste. So it's pulse rather than holding it down and letting it go. If it's a liquid, that's great. They're fantastic. Obviously you can't do liquids in these little grinders. They're not meant for liquids at all. Make it a little paste, yes, but not, blitzing a bulletproof or a soup. Then this is ideal. Oh, I've just got an itchy nose. Hang on. This is the small bullet. We've had this for years and years.
We had this before we knew about Ninja.
Yeah, I didn't know about Ninja, and yet there was one sitting in the back of the cupboard. And they are really good. I say this has been going on. This has been going in our house for probably 10 years at least. So they're ideal. You can get the sort of like the cheaper brands. I've no idea what this cost at the time. I've no idea what it costs now. You can get the sort of the cheaper brands. The difference with them is that the connections, the bit that actually sort of drives the motor that drives the blades. On the other machines, it's fairly cheap and not nasty, but they can break very easily. Put it that way. This one has lasted a long time, and I had a lot of stuff go through it. So I suppose you get what you pay for. If you're going to use something on a regular basis, if you're making sort of, as I say, bulletproof, if you're making Coco's head's just appeared, and then we've got food at the end of the table there. She's looking for more salmon. Anyway, NutriBullet or a bullet. You know, there's all sorts of different brands. This isn't a advert for Ninja or NutriBullets or anything like that. It's just a style of blender. Obviously, you've then got the bigger jug blenders, and I haven't got one here because it's over at Rushton. I use the tall jug, and it is the Ninja 3-in-1. So it's the blender, the jug blender. It's the food processor, and it's the bigger version of the bullet. So, hang on.
Can you get us some more salmon bites?
I need something that's going to take you a little bit longer to eat. Shall I give you one of those beef knuckles? Yeah, do you want some beef now? You've had your salmon. Let's have some beef. Hi Dan. I'm guessing that's Dan. Or is that Gemma?
No, I think it must be done.
Wow, that is pure fat. Let's find one with a bit of meat on it. Archie can have that one. He likes the fattier ones. Cool. Have this. Right, you have that. Here you go. Come on, Coco. You have that. There you go. This one. Do you know what? Best buy that I got from Wing Yips last time round. A couple of kilos of that. It's perfect. Yes, it is, Dan. I can tell by the hi. I can just hear Dan's voice saying hi. Yeah, the other Nutra, or the other Ninja Bullet, it's a significant difference in size. Let me get rid of it. Still get the blades. You get the drink-through lids. I think I lost the drink-through lid on this one long time ago. She's going to start barking at that bow. Have you seen her?
Oh, for God's sake.
She's doing the playful thing with the
Well, everyone who has a boxer will know what
yeah, if you got a boxer, you know what, I don't know whether your boxer does this, but RG particularly, if you give him a carrot, he will take it in the garden, throw it around for a little while, bark at it for a good 10 minutes, and then eat it. Coco's doing something similar with this one. She's settled down now. I think it must have moved suspiciously. Anyway, the difference in the two, this comes with the 3-in-1, so this comes with the food processor and with the jug blender. The jug blender, I think, is the best of the three. This is okay, but you don't have to. I wouldn't pay 120 quid for a machine just because of that. The jug blender is fantastic because it's got a twin set of blades. So this is the little chopper. It's very similar to this. The Ninja blades are all this double set of S blades. So I've never had an issue with the big jug blender. It's plastic. I'm not a fan of using glass jug blenders. They can be very heavy and obviously likely to break. It's probably about 2 liters as well. So it's a good one. If you're making soups, then it's a great one to be able to use. It comes with a food processor. It's mighty powerful and is really good, but I have a problem with the food processor, and I know not the only one, the connection. So this bit, the bit that sort of connects between the motor and the whatever it is, the container on top, whether it be the food processor bowl or the jug, the connector on the food processor isn't great. But we've gone through 2 of the processing bowls because it breaks the connector. And we've never really tried to process anything tough in there. The toughest thing I normally used to shove in there was cauliflower stalks. But on 2 occasions, it's only held on by 4 plastic sort of connections. And I say, I'm not the only one that's had problems with that. And I know some people are able to have got theirs changed for free. When I've sort of approached them and sort of said, this is what's happened, they're like, sorry, but it's not covered under warranty. The actual bowls are not covered under the warranty. And therefore they told you to bugger off, basically. That's just my experience. So if you've got a 3-in-1 Ninja, and it has worked perfectly. Then brilliant. Obviously, food processors, you can find a standard food processor pretty much again at any of the supermarkets right now, 30-40 quid. And if you're doing stuff like cauliflower rice, which is a great way to sort of like swap those big starchy carbs, then actually something that you can feed small chunks in through the top, because obviously these are okay. This is the Ninja mini chopper, but you've got to keep taking the top off to put things in. It's ideal for making very small portions. Actually, I was quite surprised when I got this as to how big the bowl was. We used to have one of the Aldi versions, which was great. It's a glass bowl. The blades were great. Again, there's no point in getting a food processor and the blades being completely garbage. The blades were great. And you just sat the motor on top and press the button. In fact, I think the actual motor's still in there, but we don't have the bowl, so we can't use it. But again, the issue with that is that it was glass bowl, and you have to be really careful. I think eventually it did get broken, didn't it? I don't remember how or where it went.
Probably Louis.
Yeah, I think it got broke. Whereas these, obviously, they're polycarbonate. They're and you get 2 of these in the pack. Not a sales pitch for Ninja, by the way. Again, but I was quite impressed with this, and we use this on a regular basis. So if I'm making a small batch of either pastry or pancakes, this is a perfect little, so it's ideal for 1 or 2 portions. Even for doing a little portion of cauliflower rice or swede rice, you can drop in. You'll easily get a couple of 100 grams of swede in there, and it'll blitz it down in seconds. So
if you're looking to make, especially hazelnut butter, but any homemade nut butter, that processor is the best one I've found for it.
Right, okay.
The larger processors, there's too much space in them. They
Yes.
don't warm up enough.
Yeah, so if you want to make your own almond butter, hazelnut butter, then a small chopper is better than the big bowls, just purely because of the you need to create heat. So you get heat by sort of like, obviously, the food being around the blades. Once it's been thrown out to the side of the bowl and the blade's just spinning around, it's having no effect. So to make a small portion, you can make a couple of jars worth of almond butter in one of these things. The only thing that you need to do when you're processing anything is do it in stages. You can't just turn something on and leave it on. If I was to sort of keep this pressed down, filled with almonds, and hope I'll get almond butter in one hit, you'd burn the motor out.
It turned itself off.
So a lot of them have a safety switch. They have a safety device, and they'll wait until they cool down. I don't think this hasn't got a reset button on it at all. So once it's tripped out, it will take a little while for it to sort of cool down and allow you to use it again. So I'm just getting my temperature just to make sure that you're with me. Yes, hello. Yes, there's my coffee cup. Oh, look at that, 59 degrees.
Because it's set to green tea.
Oh, actually, green tea, so that's coffee. Oh. So it's been holding at 59 because I didn't change. Why are you weeping at me? No, we're on coffee now. There you go. Although I am going to need a refill in a second because I've drank this one quite quickly. Guess what? It even tells me when the cup's empty. How cool is that, eh? It tells me on there.
I would think you'd be able to
empty.
tell. It doesn't have a lid, so you can kind of just look at it.
Yeah, no, but if I wasn't paying attention, I just drank it, and then it goes, oh, it's empty. All right, I better go and refill it then.
This reminds me of the scene in WALL-E when all the humans are like on chairs and they're like, it's lunchtime. Everyone wear red.
It looks like you've got more coffee than you actually have because it's got a very thick base. So I only get a small cup of coffee in there. I mean, Facebook Marketplace is a perfect place to go and pick up the bigger things, like the Kenwood blenders and the multi mixers. So the spiral mixer, the dough mixers. I forgot what the actual name is.
What?
The bowl mixer. Oh, where is it? Are we taking it back to the
the
bakery?
one here.
Yeah, that one. Food mixer. Look, Kenwood's used to, and they probably still do actually do the food mixer, and then you could get the blender that sits on top as well. Loads of people chucking those things out, and Kenwood, those machines, the old-fashioned ones, last forever. Right, anyway, so I think, well, that's enough for blenders. I suppose the only other thing, I'm sure it's in here. No. And I can never find all of the attachments at the same time. There we go. Is a stick blender. Now, again, I've had this one for absolutely donkey's years, and it actually, I could do with getting a new one because the spine in here is a little bit wonky. However, these, again, if you enjoy making soups, and I know you can get a soup maker, but a soup can be made in a pan and a stick blender. You know, so, and it's if you're going to make a soup and you make them regularly, something like this would be perfect for you, because you can actually just sort of into the pan, you hold it at the bottom and you turn it on, and it will just draw the liquid down and blend it, and you can get it to the consistency that you want. With a jug blender, you haven't got as much of the visual help to sort of say, have you done it enough? But these are great. You know, if you're going to make mayonnaise, I saw a video recently, I can't remember whose it was, and they were making mayonnaise in, I don't know if it fits actually in any large jars. That's a bit big. Just so yeah, here you go. So I saw somebody actually sort of make everything in one of these jars, which is a perfect idea, because then you're not having to transfer it from a dish to something else. I don't know why I didn't think about that myself, but mayonnaise, oil, egg, salt, lemon juice, blitz, done. The trick that they said, and I don't know whether I'll have to try this, excuse me, is to make sure the yolk is sitting underneath the blades, not to the side.
Right.
And I mean, there's work. So I've made mayonnaise several times and had both great success and horrific failures with it. It is a very simple process. It's just sometimes it doesn't work, and we don't know why. However, so there you go. So if you're going to make mayonnaise, and I know we're all looking at sort of having barbecue food soon with lots of mayonnaise and salads, then there you go. You make your own. You just need a stick blender. These stick blenders, again, 10, 15 quid. Hang on. I forgot about the other kitchen gadget. See, you don't need a Ninja grill with a thermometer to, grill your steaks or fry your steaks. But if you, or to even sort of, if you're cooking chicken, I know a lot of people are sort of like very wary about cooking things like chicken, pork, and fish. Am I overcooking it or am I undercooking it? Well, if you're not sure, get yourself a little thermometer. This is perfect because, yes, red meat, you can cook it through to any temperature, really. You can have it sort of, as low as, 30, 40 degrees if you like it really rare. But obviously with chicken and with salmon, you want to be a little bit higher. There's your perfect way. And there's nothing wrong in actually having your chicken in the pan and just this into the side. As long as it's not touching the pan, it's in the chicken, it'll, just press the button. It'll tell you what temperature it is. You want to pick the thickest part. Again, these thermometers, I've seen these in Sainsbury's actually, across the road from us, because again, it's all the rage now. And the same as the scales, basic kitchen equipment. If you're going to make your own food, i.e. you're going to make any sort of cakes, breads, that sort of stuff, you need a set of scales. Those ones are ideal. Again, I think I picked the last set of them. Oh, actually, Aldi had them in just before Christmas for about, they're about 7 or 8 quid or something like that. So those things, you may not think that you're going to need to use them, or you sort of, you've lived all your life without them. However, temperature probe is a great idea. And it's just about the confidence that when you know you've cooked something, it's done. You don't have to go, well, I'm not really sure, and I'll just cook it for another 20 minutes just to make sure that, I've killed everything. It's done. If it's reached 72 degrees, it's done. It's ready. Then let it rest, and it'll finish off, its cooking process while it's resting. I just wanted to sort of make sure I've not missed anything.
Gemma talking about she put hot liquid in the bullet, still got stains on the side.
Yes. So this is a serious topic actually for hot liquids. You shouldn't really put anything that's very hot inside a sealed container. So if you're blitzing like the bulletproof, and I'll do this in here, but it's very carefully. If you're doing a bulletproof and a Ninja, it's pulse very quickly. It's 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. You shouldn't need to do it any more than that because it's liquid. It's fully liquid. You're just trying to blitz in the fat. If you're trying to blitz a soup, and this is why I'm not a massive fan of the jug blenders for blitzing soups. 2 reasons. One, the actual jug might not take the temperature, so it'll crack. I know a lot of them are now polycarbonate, and therefore they can stand high temperatures. However, if you blitz something that's at high temperature, as Gemma has found out, it can explode. Essentially, it will just straight out the top of the jug. Doesn't matter whether the lid's on or not. It will take the lid off with it as well. So if you're ever going to use a jug blender with something that is hot, just let it cool down for sort of like 20 minutes, half an hour first. Let it come down from the 100 degrees down to sort of 60, 70. It won't blow the lid off it then. You do have to be really careful. Never put hot liquid in a food processor either. So the actual bowl, because as it's spinning around, it'll just spit it straight out. It won't stay contained. So that's why the stick blenders are great for anything that's hot. So even when I first started doing bulletproofs, I'd make it in a jug. So I'd make it in a similar jug to that, and I'd stick the blender inside rather than creating the vacuum, sealing it. Sorry, Al.
Miriam was asking about scales. Obviously, we've got 2 sets of scales. We've got those square ones and the foldable ones. And we tend to get comments about the foldable ones asking where they're from. But
I've not seen these available for about 4 years. In fact, I think there was the one time only that I saw them. I mean, they're no different. So they're just a set of digital scales. That's it.
The problem with them is that once they lose a foot,
that's
go wonky. They start to lose their accuracy because they end up jumping all over the place.
Yeah. So
is
this lost the back one somewhere?
I don't actually know.
No, I think it's just the position.
Anywho, the square ones are more accurate because they just sit.
Yeah, I'm going to say, anywho, a set of digital scales. You can find them pretty much anywhere and everywhere for about a tenner. Get plenty of batteries. Yeah, get plenty of batteries. Yeah, this is the thing we were talking about sort of a couple of days ago, even last night, about proteins. If you're not sure how much you're eating, then just weigh the protein before you cooked it. Well, you can't, weigh it without a set of scales. So it just gives you a bit of peace of mind. Are you eating enough? Do you know how much protein you're eating? Set of digital scales, perfect. Hang on a second. I need to top up. Oh, look, the phone's just lit up again. It's gone, hello. This is way too hot. Look at that, 68, 69 degrees, way too hot. We're not comfortable drinking temperature yet. Anything else on the basic side?
Sorry, Gemma just asked, is it always before cooked?
Always before cooked, because...
Were you talking about weighing proteins?
Yeah, so weighing proteins. You always weigh your protein before you've cooked it, because once you've cooked it, you've reduced the weight because you've released the moisture. Protein is made out of water. 70% of your chicken breast, your beef steak, or your pork loin is water. And all that happens when you cook it is you're removing the moisture. So it will weigh about, depending on what it is, it'll weigh a good 20% less than it did in its raw stage. So always weigh your protein at the raw stage, then cook it.
It makes it a lot easier to track.
It makes it huge. Yeah, because the more you cook it, the drier it's going to be. So the weight will change depending on You know, whether you've got it rare or well done. Are you all great with mental calculations? I wonder how much you get scales.
Miriam, when I'm baking, you just get the number that's on the scale. I mean, you can zero them.
Yeah, you can. There's a
but
little.
Sometimes I forget, and you just go, right, okay, I need 30 grams of this, so you add on 30.
Do you have that cup warmer connected to your phone? Of course, I've got that cup warmer connected to my phone, Kat. Why have you not got your cup warmer connected to your phone? Look, it's 68 degrees. It's a bit too warm. I can now let it cool down with comfort. I don't have to worry about how long I'm talking. Great for you lot, isn't it? That I don't have to stop. I can just watch my phone, and when it hits 59, I can drink it. Hang on. Coco's drinking out of an empty bowl. It's one thing I hate is hearing either of these two trying to drink out of an empty bowl because they just don't stop. Coco, it's empty.
Well, because they know if they keep going long enough, they'll get a bowl.
It's completely dry. Never mind empty. Right, there we go. Now she's not going to want to drink. I have no idea what those two are on about.
Apparently doing the mental math of adding on 30 grams is...
Oh, right, okay.
You should have a chat with Louis sometime.
Oh, no. In fact, yeah, we'll get Louis to we'll do a Zoom one evening for you where you can talk theoretics, physics or whatever. Anyway, I suppose the other gadget that you might use, or you will use on a regular basis, it's not really a gadget, but it's an essential, is a good pan. Stop putting up with pans that everything sticks to. Either get a cast iron pan or get something that's got a good non-stick coating on it. And for goodness sake, stop putting it on number 9 or number 11 or whatever it is for everything. It doesn't need to be set at its highest temperature. Most of the cooking that you will do and that we do starts off at a very gentle medium heat. You can always increase the heat if there's lots of liquid in there. Cast iron skillet, yes, great. You know, if you're doing a steak, that's different and fantastic. If you're going to sort of whack it in a skillet, that's why, and I'll get onto the ninjas in a second. However, you don't need to be burning holes in your pan just because you think that you need to put it on number 9, okay? But a good non-stick pan, 65 degrees, we're getting there. What's the new pan with the brown hat? Oh, no, I know. But it was because the other one lost its non-stickiness. So, because Louis sticks it on, goes number 9 and walks away. And it's like...
He likes his eggs not...
Oh, he likes his eggs cremated. Absolutely cremated. Right. Okay. So, other gadgets. And yes, we've got the bigger gadgets, obviously, over here. And I know that there are plenty of other brands of air fryers, pressure cookers, all those sorts of things. I suppose I don't know of many other brands that do the whole lot in one go. There probably are. However, rather than having to use a big oven all of the time, and we very rarely use our big oven, because again, the three of us are sort of very much independent on food. It's rare that we'll all sit down to eat together, just purely because of Ella prefers to eat a little bit earlier. I've got PTs. Louis just eats when he comes home from school or whatever. We tend to sort of eat quite separately at the moment. We'll make some sort of meal prep, and that's great. We can sort of share a dish. But if we're doing our own individual meals, it's easier to use something like a Ninja to cook it in. So they're not cheap, and none of these things are. But at least we know that you've got multi-functions here. So I suppose the best difference, or the best way of explaining these two, the Ninja Foodie, the round one, is great with liquids. So it'll do the roast, it'll do the bake, it'll do the dehydrate, it'll do the grill. Although I don't think I've ever used the grill function on on the Foodie.
You have. Just
Have I?
before we had the grill.
Right, okay. However, the Foodie is great if you're going to do slow cooking, if you're going to do pressure cooking, if you want to make your own bone broth, if you want to do yogurt, those sorts of things. Dehydrate. Well, yeah, both do dehydrate them.
Oh, I don't know that.
They both do dehydrate.
Ninja goes lower, doesn't it?
The Foodie goes lower, yeah. Yeah, Foodie goes lower.
Cat, funny story. I tried to make cloud bread once in the Ninja grill. They evaporated.
Yeah, so the Ninja obviously works with an element on top and a fan. So anything as light as cloud bread will get sucked up and then just destroyed in the element. That's why you should never preheat it with just like a tray and parchment paper, anything like that, because it'll just suck up the parchment paper and burn it at the top. So the Foodie, and I know there's the new 15-in-1. This is a 9-in-1. The 15-in-1, obviously more functions. That has 2 separate lids. So one lid is for wet and one lid is for dry. It's great. It's fabulous. You can bake bread, you can make cakes, you can do all sorts of of baking in there. The grill, the square one, is dry heat only, so it's not a steamer, it's not a pressure cooker, anything like that. We do tend to use that more than anything else now. Whether it's me, I can roast off an entire tray of chicken legs or chicken thighs, so a kilo of chicken legs, thighs can go into there. I like my chicken legs and thighs quite crispy, so I'll do them for 45 minutes, 25 minutes on one side, turn them over, put them back in. 45 minutes later, it is done.
I'm sorry.
Dan
and Lady are ganging up on Gemma. Lady Parrot.
Lady Parrot, yeah.
He said, "What's an oven?" And he goes, "Is that because you have a chef now to join the cleaner, who's joined the butler?"
They both do like the air frying thing, and I know a lot of people have been buying air fryers. I know you can get a Ninja air fryer as well, can't you? It's just a pure air fryer. Yeah, they've got drawers in them. You've got a couple of different drawers in them. Yeah, they've both got air frying baskets. We don't tend to air fry anything anymore, do we? I've not used the air frying basket on either of them for ages.
To be completely honest, I don't really know the difference between air frying and then just putting it on.
It'll be it's a higher temperature and it'll be the air circulation.
But why can I then put it on roast and then change the temperature to the same temperature as air fry?
I don't know. You'd have to speak to Ninja about that.
Ninja don't talk to us.
Ninja don't talk to us. However, they are a good yet fairly expensive gadget to have. If you're going to use it on a regular basis, it's probably worth getting it because it will save you money on on using your oven. But if it's if you're only going to use something like that once a week, then there are probably better alternatives. One of the other gadgets, I mean, at the back here, you probably see us use this a lot, is the induction hob. These are great. These are fab. All right, you need a good set of pans. Actually, yes. Also, if you're thinking about getting a Ninja, then Ninja Sue has done some tutorials on the YouTube channel.
So you've had requests for more tutorials, so maybe you need to think of a new one to film.
Right.
But Sue's got her own playlist on YouTube.
I presume most people have got a standard oven and hob, whether that's an induction or whether it's sort of the old-fashioned. And again, if you've got an old-fashioned electric one, they're very inefficient. Something like this is better to use. However, not all pans will work on an induction hob, so you do have to make sure that what you've got before you go out and buy one of these. They're not expensive. They're 30-40 quid for a 1 or a 2 ring, we tend to use that obviously when we're doing the cooking here, but actually we do use it quite a lot as well. I mean, it depends. We've now got the induction on the back here, so if we ever run out of space or we're using that as work surface, we'll just use the ring and stick it on here.
What do you prefer, the induction hob, as in the normal one we've got above the oven,
yeah,
or the old gas one we used to have?
I would say this now.
It's a lot easier to clean, I'll give it that.
Yeah, I'd say All right, this isn't a very expensive induction hob, so it's a little bit lethargic. You sort of want to press a button, you press a button, and you got to wait a couple of seconds. It's like, whereas obviously the catering ovens that I'm used to, they produce a huge amount of heat, and they're very responsive because it's immediate. The second you turn it down, it's down.
Did you miss the fire?
Yeah, you miss it. It sort of feels a bit strange cooking on something that you can't see, rather than even the old electric rings. You'd see them glow red. I mean, they're so inefficient, but
That's what Brooke had when we did cooking class in year 8, and I thought they were magical because I'd never seen an electric hob before.
Yeah, it glows red.
Some poor kid would always forget.
Oh, touch it.
Touch it.
Well, actually, yeah. I mean, the worst burn I've had recently, right in the top end of right on the top of my thumb there, because on Christmas Day I opened the oven, took something out of the top shelf, and forgot these elements right at the top. And I stuck my hand in. It went. Tss, I was like, I've stopped burning myself over at the bakeries. I don't do it anymore. Anyway, right. I know a lot of people have probably got one of these stuck in the back of the cupboard as well. I don't use it. Borrowed it. I've not returned it.
Should probably give it back to the
Yeah, I even messaged Nanny Jean last year sometime. Said, "Can I borrow the bread maker again? I just want to try something out." I still had it. It was in the cupboard at the back. It can be used for the low carb, the gluten based bread. It cannot be used for the panda bread. It just doesn't work. Panda bread doesn't need to mix the way that standard bread does. Panda bread doesn't need to prove in the way standard bread does. So it can be used for, if you're going to follow the sort of like the mega loaf recipe, it can be done in here. However, there is no specific function for it, so you need to find which one's going to work for you. I think I've only ever used like the basic function. There was no instructions came with this, so I have no idea what any of it means. I just turned it on, stuck everything in, hope for the best. The only thing I don't like about bread makers is that epoxy thing. So if you're ever going to do and it makes a really strange shaped loaf as well. It's quite difficult to handle because when you make a full loaf, it sits up here, so it's very tall and a little bit. Yeah, Coco wants something. Yes, I know. I'm talking. I think that part of this is because I'm talking.
Yeah.
And she just wants to. I don't know. You want me to talk to you?
Tracy, it will always be Coco.
It'll always be Coco.
Argie's quiet.
Yeah, he doesn't whinge. I haven't got anything for you at the moment.
See you later, Sandra.
See you soon, Sandra. Anyway, these things are not necessary because it's so easy to make the breads. You don't need a bread maker. I get the kneading, the mixing part, but you can do it by hand. It's it isn't that difficult. Or if you have a bread maker, stick the ingredients in and let this do the mixing part and let it do the kneading part, and then take it out and bake it properly. Because I think when I had this on, it was about 3 hours. It just doesn't need that.
And also, Coco went nuts when it was.
Oh, the noise.
She did not like
the noise. So yes, I understand. You can do the mixing part of it, the kneading part, in there, but then just take the loaf out, stick it in a standard tin, let it prove, and then bake it. 30-minute bake. Give it. Certainly with the Mega, the longer you can give it to prove, the better. To be honest, and stick a lid on it, and you'll get a really good crust.
Dan, any bread that doesn't include gluten, currently we haven't had success with in a bread maker.
Yeah, no, it just nothing at all. I've tried several. Tried the linseed bread. Tried egg-free bread. And the bread makers, they're too deep generally for one of those sort of loaves. Yeah. So yeah, the only one that's really had any success with is the Mega. No, Miriam, she just likes to be a part of it, doesn't she? Right. Anything else? What else?
There's the
Oh,
ones at the back, the crepe pan and the waffle maker.
right. So here's some of the stuff that you may not get straight away, but over time we've sort of collected. These are great. If you're going to make your own pancakes and you haven't got a good non-stick pan, then these things are great. So again, 10, 15 quid. I know that Aldi and Lidl's both sort of stock these every now and then. We lost the dial on this about 3 years ago. So it's stuck at one temperature, but it works. It's perfect for the pancakes. It's perfect for things like cheesy wraps, those sorts of things. Just pour your mix on it around and done.
So Coco's currently talking to 2 dogs through the internet.
Right. Okay. Well done, Coco.
You're famous.
Obviously, something like a waffle maker. You can get like a panini press, sort of with changeable plates. The only issue with those types of plates is they tend to start to chip, so the coating starts to chip off them. The cake.
See, this is where we discover all the random ones.
Yeah, we've got. I think it went down there, didn't it? The cake machine. So we bought a little cake pop machine some years ago. Completely forgot about it, but it is ideal. And the vanilla cupcake or vanilla what cake recipe?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Just the
vanilla muffin, isn't it?
Vanilla muffin, yeah.
Vanilla muffin recipe works really well inside it. So you get these sort of like perfect. So you don't have to go buying silicone cases. Never put one of our recipes in paper cases. You won't get it out. It'll just stick. But these waffle irons, these are great. Again, this was it's Quest actually. It's the same brand as the hot plate.
One thing I would say, if you're getting a waffle maker, get one that's like that. The deep pan, rather than like there's one that looks like a flower. It's like in 5 segments.
Oh.
It lasts for a couple of goes, and then the non-stick peels off, and it doesn't work.
So this is where the really cheap ones that you'll see again. I'm not sure if they're in Aldi at the moment, but they look like a flower. It's about 6 segments. It's very shallow. Don't buy one. It might only be a tenner, but it'd be a tenner that you've wasted, or unless you can return it. You don't buy one. They just don't work. Right. What?
Lainey, no, the smoky gadget didn't work.
No, smoking gadget is still sitting over there. I've not had a go of it since whenever we did it on the live months ago. It's not really the weather for me sticking something outside. Whoa, she's doing the boxer thing where she nudges me. What? Right. The other thing is this, which is the sausage maker. And I wouldn't expect many of you are going to buy a sausage maker. However, if you're interested in, again, as we were talking last night about sort of like going clean keto, then you can't. Well, no, you can't buy clean keto sausages because we produce them. However, you can't buy clean keto sausages in a supermarket. None of them are. In fact, most of them are pretty horrific. They've all containing wheat starches. They'll contain sort of things like dextrose, all sorts of things. So if you Daniel just likes Liam sausages. If you are interested in following a clean lifestyle, then you will need to buy your own pork. It's very simple to do. What?
Just Coco, it's going to be a nightmare to edit this video.
All right. Okay. Do I need to
give her more food?
Do I need to give you more food? Right. Bear with me a second. I'll tell you what. Yeah, she's licking her lips.
To be fair to her, she didn't eat much earlier this week. She's had a bit of a funny week.
Yes. We've got some. I don't know if you can hear her licking her chops down here. So whenever Ella has peanut butter on toast, I just give it her out of here.
For those that can't understand your sarcasm, because it is Sometimes, not the greatest. We have separate peanut butter jars.
It's like a dinosaur graveyard in our house. These are the marrow bones that I picked up from Wing Yips a couple of weeks ago, and they've stripped them clean. But we smear the inside with peanut butter. Honestly, I hope you can hear Coco's.
She sounds like, which she used to have a nickname when she was a puppy, of Baby Groot. Because if people have seen Guardians of the Galaxy, when Baby Groot is in his plant pot and he can't properly speak and he just makes little noises, that's what Coco makes.
Yes, I know, Coco. I know. It's exciting, isn't it?
Just give me the bucket.
Actually, you can have the bucket now. Maybe once we finish the live, because you'll end up sort of making more noise with that. Right, Archie loves this, the fact that she's complaining and wants more food, and he just gets the same. Right, come on. Right, there you go. There's yours. There's yours. Okay? Good go. Okay. Dinosaur graveyard, yeah. Where was I? Sausages. If you want to make your own, it isn't difficult. It just takes a little bit of practice. One of these machines, yes, will cost you, I think it was about 35, 40 quid. So they're not cheap, but if you're going to use it on a regular basis, you like your sausages, then here's a great way of doing it. It's very straightforward to he says, putting it back together again. It is that way. Very straightforward to put together. Hang on. Do it for... Come on. Wrong way around. No, it is that way around. There you go. Just line it up would be a good idea, wouldn't it? You do get all of the attachments, and you get multiple filters for it. So essentially, when you're making your own sausages, you go down the gradients of these filters. So you start with the thickest one, pass the pork through, and then you do it again on a finer one until you get to the point where you are ready to make your sausage. It usually takes 2 or 3 passes. Because it takes some time, you are better to do a batch of them in one go. Don't just try and make 3 sausages, because it's just a complete waste of time to actually set the machine up, cut it down, prep it, and then make the sausages. Pretty much whatever you want. So, like, obviously, if you're making sausages, then get pork shoulder or pork leg. And obviously, don't put the fat in, don't put the skin in. Never, ever try and put the skin through. So, yes, a layer of fat that's on the outside. So, if you want, buy the skinless, boneless pork loin if you want. Pork loin works. It'll be slightly leaner. Buy pork leg, it'll be a little bit more. It'll be a little bit fattier, but it'll be cheaper. You can go down the lines of, you'll find things like occasionally pork collar, which is quite a fatty sort of part of the meat. As long as, you take the skin off and roast that for your pork scratchings. So this is sort of something that I know most people won't buy. However, if, we get asked the question about sort of, what's the best place to get sausages? Well, supermarkets are not the best place to get your sausages. They're low carb, yes, but they're not clean. Not even close. Right, casings. You can buy casings online. You can get I would recommend you get I've taken them back. I've brought some with me, some collagen casings, because they are long life. There's a company, if you just search, and I can't remember their name, just search for sausage casings. There's a company, I can't remember the name of it, West something. They'll be the number one hit. They'll be the number one company. We buy them from there. We buy both the fresh, and we buy the so you can buy hogs casings, and you can buy the collagen casings. The collagen ones, they're long life, and you can make them.
Is it like a German?
Yes, it is. Yes.
So WASCHENFELDER.
Yeah, they'll be the number one listing if you just search sausage casings. You want to make sure you get quite wide ones, because the nozzle is quite a thick one. So you can make them with skinless as well. Yes. So they do work skinless. You just have to be a little bit more careful when you are cooking them. To not break them up, because they're quite compact when they're coming out. That's something that but seriously, if you want to make things like beef sausages or chicken sausages, which again you can't get beef sausages, maybe your local butcher might make them, but guess what, they're going to stick something in them to bulk it out. Chicken sausages you occasionally find at supermarkets, but again they're usually bulked out with various grains and flours. So you can make sausages out of any meat you want. You can make your own, spicy lamb sausages. You make your own, kebab going through. So if you mince your lamb with your spices and as a skinless through there, you've now got a sheikh kebab or shami kebab. Any other gadgets that we
have the stand mixer that's by my feet.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, the stand mixer. So we talked about that earlier for making bread. So again, that is something that, again, if you're going to make your own bread at home, it is worth investing in. And I say, like the Kenwoods, the stand mixer generally came with a blender as well. So it's a multifunction item.
There are small gadgets like the pasty press, the tortilla press.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Whether you class it as a gadget.
I'm not sure it is a gadget really. I know we've used it quite a lot recently. Is there anything else that I've missed? I mean, knives. There's a good starting point. I was surprised many years ago when I first started to do this, and I used to go to people's houses and help them cook and show them, how to make certain things. And when I turned up at one house, and I said, right, okay, let's chop some veggies. We're gonna. I can't remember what we were making, but we were making something that involved onions. And there was no chopping board and no knife. I was like, oh, okay. So there are basics that we all need. A good chopping board. I'm not necessarily just promoting IKEA for this. However,
not sponsored by
Ninja nor IKEA. However, one of these boards, and this has lasted us, Christ.
This has been on workshops with us.
This has lasted us a lot of years. Yeah, it's got a lip on it, so it sits on the edge of your counter. There you go. It's not going to move. So a lot of boards, chopping boards, when you're chopping away, you sometimes need to put, so like any of those plastic boards, and they start to move, you sometimes need to put a cloth underneath it, a damp cloth underneath it. Get yourself one of those. It just needs a good scrub when you finish with it, especially if you're doing raw meat on it. But don't be afraid of doing that. And a good set of knives. Now again, not promoting just IKEA, but IKEA do sets of knives. I think it's a 3 or a 4 box set of knives. These are sort of molded handles. They were like 8-10 quid for the pack. They're perfect. You get a chef's knife, 2 paring knives, I'm sure you do, and a carving knife. If you're just starting out, that's the perfect thing to have. I know other companies do knives, which is fantastic, self-sharpening knives and all that sort of stuff. But they're obviously all going to cost. Again, if you're just starting out to, start making more of your own food at home, then, a basic set of knives from IKEA are perfect. Never heard of that company, Sheila. Joseph Knives. I've never heard of them. It'd be interesting. Electric steamer. Never used one. I have got a steaming set, so just the pans that I stick on top of the hob. I don't. Is it worth investing in a steamer? I'll probably say not at the beginning. Steam very little. I mean, and you can steam without special equipment as well. It depends what you're trying to steam. The only thing that I tend to steam is belly pork. So I steam that, and before I roast it, or duck legs.
Could you steam in the ninjas?
I'm pretty sure I have attempted to steam in there, and I think the 15-in-1 also you can steam in there. it's got a steaming function. This hasn't got a steaming function, but you could make it steam, yes. You have enough non-electrical appliances for that. I've got enough non-electrical appliances, have I?
I reckon we would if we opened the cupboards. I mean,
I suppose, yeah, of course, yeah. Emma mentioned the burger press. The burger press, although it's missing in part. Where's the disc? There it is. And in fact, I don't know what your thoughts were for dinner tonight, but Louis wants to make burgers.
oh, great.
Yeah, there you go. So we're going to have burgers. These things, I'm not. Do you know what? I don't know where this came from. Present. Okay.
We had another one though.
Thank you, whoever sent this to us.
We're not for a little while.
Burger press. It is good. This one's particularly good because obviously it comes in 3 parts. It's very easy to clean. It's plastic. Goes in the dishwasher. Make your burger. Take the top off. There's your burger. Sat on top of there. It's an ideal thing. I'm not sure why it's got holes in the side because you wouldn't necessarily screw it to the floor, screw it to the board because then you wouldn't be able to get your burger out. Don't know why 3. Normally the 3 holes is to
I've never noticed
fix it somewhere. Yeah, the tortilla press. Wow, yeah. Actually, now I start to think about it. The tortilla press is another gadget which is useful if you're trying to make sort of little rotis or chapatis, those type of things, rather than having to roll out things all the time. Thanks for reminding me about that because I'd forgotten, and when I saw it, remembered that's what we're having for dinner tonight.
We have actually got quite a bit of fancy cheese, so you can mix stuff.
Yes, that's what Louis. I said about dinner. I said to Louis, "You bet for dinner?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, I've got some minced beef." I've no idea. I said, "There's some minced beef in there." He went, "Can we have burgers?" And we got some fancy cheese in there. I was like, "Okay, there you go, sorted." Yeah, the pasty molds. I don't. Well, we didn't use them until like recently.
One of the oldest non-electric gadget, I don't know what you call it, gadget, is silicone molds, cupcake molds.
Yeah. Okay.
Because as you said, it tends to stick to paper, and also it just makes a lot more sense to have reusable ones.
Yeah. So. Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loads of molds in there now.
So yeah, cake making. So if you're going to make anything cakes and you want them individual portions, then use silicone molds rather than paper. It will just stick. Aldi had these in recently. Yeah, it is a bit like that, isn't it, Lainey? Aldi had these in recently. Obviously, they're Christmas decorations. They'll have the Valentine's ones out very, very soon. eBay, Amazon are full of these. We use these ones to make our coconut ice and the granola bars because they're perfect portions. You can sort of pack them down and done. Same for your cakes. So if you're ever going to use these for cakes, let them go cold first. Don't try and get them out hot. So let it go cold. And the best way of getting them out is just stretch. Just stretch the sides. Turn it around, stretch, and then they'll fall. They should fall out. Okay. What's the best grater? Actually, we've got 2. Blimey. How long are we doing this live for? I said last night. I actually managed to talk for nearly an hour yesterday on what was yesterday?
Shopping.
On shopping. On what was the Tesco's one? What was?
You're probably ranting about groundhog or something.
Oh, you weren't here, were you? Were you upstairs?
I was filming.
Oh, I thought you were ill.
I was still filming. The
right.
cheese grater's in there. The spiral one, at least.
Right, we've got 2. Right, we'll make this the last one. And actually, these are both IKEA. And I'm sure a lot of people have got these graters. I prefer this one, although I couldn't find the fine grate.
Louis probably used it and put it somewhere.
Right. Okay. Christ, again, I've had this so many years. And they're great because obviously you're grating it and it's in the bowl, therefore very little in the way of mess. However, this.
If you've got long nails, that one isn't very useful.
Okay, all right. That's not something I've had a problem with.
Well, when I get to the really end of the cheese, I don't find any nails.
So actually, these are. Yeah, no. These are great for, like, certainly for Parmesan, for grating your cheese on top. And also, if you want to cut your portion, so, if you want to make sure you're having no more than 30 grams of cheese, weigh it out, put the block in there, close it over, and who's broken the handle?
That's been broken for ages.
Oh, just don't use this one. And then just, there you go. It's done. You get the fine grater for your Parmesans and you get your standard grater for your cheddars and stuff. Why are you laughing at me? We could all see the New Year's. Yeah, what day is it? It's not Eve, is it? Eve. No, right, okay. Yeah, personally, I like that grater. Those old sort of stand-up ones are pretty much useless, I think. You only ever used one side of it. You had four blades, and you only ever used one side. I mean, what was the one with the fine points on it all about? Yeah, you've never seen one.
I used to have a tiny one, do you remember?
The little...
My tiny whisk and the tiny grater.
Oh, maybe that was for nutmeg. Maybe that's what it was for.
Why would a kid need to grate nutmeg?
I've no idea. The best parchment paper, I don't know. The one that I have at the bakery,
that says baking on it.
That you can only buy in 1,000 sheet pack, and they're big sheets. They're like this big. Buy one that's effectively you want. Hang on, we buy, and it's guaranteed not to stick, double siliconized parchment paper. So both sides siliconized parchment paper. You may find in supermarkets, you'll find a siliconized parchment paper, but only one side will be. So make sure you're using the right side, otherwise it'll stick. She's talking to Emma. Can you sell it on the website? What, parchment paper? No chance. It comes in 1,000 sheet blocks. I'm not trying to separate that out and cut it down to size because it's. I'm trying to think of the actual physical the size. It's 30 inches by 18 inches.
In the supermarket, as long as it says baking on it, as in like greaseproof baking paper or greaseproof baking parchment paper, whatever it is, there's baking on it, it's fine. If it doesn't say baking, it might not be worth.
Yeah, greaseproof is not baking paper. Yeah, greaseproof is meant for wrapping things in, not for baking on or frying on. Can I go now? It's 5:10. At least my coffee's still warm, Miriam. Look, 57 degrees, perfect drinking temperature. Oh, wow.
Hey, Miriam, this was requested.
Yeah, this was requested. No, I don't own a garlic crusher.
Oh yeah, that was when Dan set fire to the oven in his class. Louis done that before.
Yeah.
In the grill.
Special tin opener. I don't know what tin opener we've got at the moment.
An IKEA one from about 10 years ago, and it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't.
Okay. I haven't opened a tin for quite a while.
Tuna tins, most of the ones that we buy now have the
ring pull.
Yeah.
We've already. Well, I mean, if you're interested in the coffee warmer, it's this little plate here that talks to my phone and tells me. See, it's going to tell me in a minute that it's empty. Look,
got a red light on it
because it's going down in temperature. Look at that. It knows my cup's cooling down, and then it's going to go. There you go, empty. Oh. And it's greyed out. It's sad because it's empty. Yeah, it's sad. That's how I feel when I'm empty of coffee. Right. Okay. Last one. What's your top tip to grate or mince garlic? Smash it. I just under the blade, back of the blade. Give it a good crack, and the shell will come off. Chuck it in a blender if you want to, if you want a puree, or use a pestle and mortar and smash it in there. What are you requesting now, Miriam? What's the next live going to be?
So there are no more lives this week, but the next thing on is Kick on Sunday evening. I'll pop a link in.
Yeah, so Sunday. So yeah, that's it. We're done for any more cookings or these lives for this year. Sunday, we're doing batch cook, aren't we, on Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
So members or anyone interested in becoming a member, on Sunday between 11:30 and about 3 o'clock, we do a group batch cook. Now, this is a perfect occasion for us to get together and plan ahead and actually do something about the planning. So there's no point making a meal plan and then hoping it happens. You make a meal plan and then you do something about it. And the best thing to do is to do some batch cooking. It will save you a huge amount of time during the week. So even if you're not going to join us live, and you can, it's an open Zoom. We just cook along and we can have a chat and we can ask questions and and see who's made what. There's no plan as to, we don't all cook the same things. We're all going to turn up and cook what we want to have throughout the week. So even if you don't come and join us, then take a couple of hours out on Sunday. I know it's the first, I know it's New Year's Day, but there's no better time to actually get started and get your plan in action. Make your meal plan, go shopping in the next couple of days, and then start putting it into place. So between 11:30 and 3, we're going to be doing batch cook. And then Sunday evening will be the next Kick. So Kick restarted on Sunday. So she's finished her peanut butter.
That's the third course done.
Yeah, she's now ready for dinner. Yeah, she's now ready for dinner. She's had the 3 starters.
And yes, she has had 2.
And she's had 2 full meals today already with lots of salmon in it already. Yeah, so the next Kick is 7:30 on Sunday. Kick is just a basic introduction to a keto low carb lifestyle. It's completely free to attend. You're able to come and meet and chat to myself and some of the team, all of the team, and other members as well. So if you've got any questions, if you're unsure about something, then feel free, come and join us. The link will be in both groups, so come and join us. As in, do we put the actual link in the event in the public group?
In the public group, yeah, but for security reasons, we don't put the Zoom link on the website.
No,
so
but it's in
the public group.
Right. So if you're in the public group, the main group, then go to events and you'll see Kick is listed there, or Ella's dropped a link in actually, and there'll be the Zoom link there. So come and join us Sunday evening, and then we restart again. Back to
other members' events tonight. We've got the vision board Zoom. Yeah,
members come along. We're going to do a conversation about vision board. And I was thinking about this today actually, and some people struggle with the idea of I don't know how to make a vision board, or I don't see how it will work. Well, have a think about the last time you went on holiday and you look through some holiday brochures. You visualize yourself going somewhere and you then made it happen by booking it. Well, a vision board works exactly the same. We're going to create a vision for ourselves. And once you've created that with something that you can reference, you can check back on, you can look at it daily, you can have it on your phone if you're going to use Pinterest, something like that. But you can look at it daily and visualize yourself doing something, whether it's, for me, I used to visualize the running. I used to visualize the marathons. There's no way to get around a marathon without visualizing finishing a marathon. So visualize what you want to achieve in the next year or in the next 10 years. And then you can start putting the steps in place to actually get there. So the vision board, we're going to talk about that. We're going to do some work on that this evening in the members Zoom at 7:30. If I carry on talking, we'll just roll straight into that one.
Tomorrow, Gemma's doing cheesecake.
And tomorrow, Gemma's making cheesecake. There you go.
That's it. That's all the events.
Right.
All the links. Dan's in Portugal.
Right. If I don't see, and I probably won't see most of you before the new year, have a great one. Come and join us early next week whenever we are back. Well, we'll be back with all of the usual nonsense next week. Gemma, sorry, we've been practicing today. I've been playing around with a bit of recipe development at the bakery. This is a double chocolate cheesecake, and this is a salted caramel cheesecake. I'm a bit cheesecaked out, along with a few other things that I can't show you just yet. Yeah, have a great one. Come and join us wherever it is, on the lives, on the Zooms that we do. We've got couch time next week, haven't we? I think we're all turning up to couch time on Thursday next week. So there's all sorts of stuff going on. We've got lots of things planned in both groups as well, and throughout the year. Yeah, we're hoping to get to sort of more of the live events. So the members have been sort of catching up with each other all year at members events. Ella made one actually at the beginning of December, didn't you?
Yeah, thank you.
Ella made got to Lincoln. I don't think I got to any last year, with the exception of we went to Essex, didn't we? That was a members meetup. I need to be on stage. What am I doing? I don't sing and I don't dance. However, Lainey, I think you might like next week's low impact. So Tuesday, low impact. We're going to do something a little bit different. Anyway, rambling now.
You need to stop. 1 hour. And
I need to
16
stop.
minutes.
There you go. Exactly.
We can all reconvene or whatever on whatever next day we're going to do a live. Maybe Monday, Tuesday. I don't know.
I reckon it'll be. I don't think I'll be free on Tuesday.
That's right. There's a live timetable link if anyone's wondering. It'll get updated next week.
What, a waffle? No, I've not made any waffles, Tracy. I could make you a waffle if you want.
I'm just going to end the vlog.
Right, okay. See you next week. Bye.